Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be converting plants to semi-hydroponics with the substrate called Leca. As always, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That is the fastest way to get in touch with me directly. You can send me a direct message, comment on my posts, and see some of my posts throughout the day. You can see right over here, plant foldies. I am just looking at one of my favorite types of plants to grow, and these are Aglaonema that you could find at Peta's Planters, a small plant shop out in Dallas, Texas. Definitely check it out, but I will show you what to do in terms of growing your plants in semi-hydroponics using some of the plants that I bought from Peta's Planters and several other places. So this is going to be a relaxing plant chores video. It's going to be different from my normal shopping videos, my big box or plant shopping videos, but needless to say, it is going to be a how-to tutorial for those that are interested in growing their plants, making their plant care a lot simpler, because whenever you convert a plant to semi-hydroponics, it makes it just so easy for you to maintain your plants. For me, growing plants in semi-hydroponics just makes the watering portion of plant care a lot easier, because you are just really relying on filling up a water reservoir with obviously plant nutrients. So we're going to see what that process looks like. I hope you enjoy a lot of the ASMR relaxing sounds as I go through my conversion of these particular plants into semi-hydroponics. So definitely watch till the very end to see some of the plants I converted, some of the Aglaonema I converted to semi-hydroponics. If you have any questions about some of the plants that I've converted, or just plants for that you could use for semi-hydro, please leave that in the comments section. I am trying to diversify my plant content to some more of the relaxing plant chores that you guys have given me some ideas on. I know that I posted a video of how to convert plants to semi-hydroponics, but here we go. But before we do that, I did want to show you where I go to buy my semi-hydro substrate, Leca. So I go to the IKEA out in Frisco, Texas. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome to the channel. My name is Richie. I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos, but today we're going to do something a little bit different. I love going to IKEA not only for the planters and plants, but to get these Leca. It's only for $9.99. It's a little bit more of a cheaper alternative than using Lechuza Pond, which is the primary substrate that you could use for semi-hydroponics. But you know, I always grab a bag or two. I'm also thinking about growing something in this beautiful glass vase. We'll see what that looks like. But the first part I wanted to talk about as well is the fact that I am part of a plant podcast show called The Cultivation Corner. We will be launching season 2 on February 18th at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So definitely check that out. But you can see right here, this is an Aglaonema lochai that I bought from Walmart. I've shown this video before, but I wanted to go ahead and include this so that way you can have a continuous how-to conversion for any plants that you want to convert into semi-hydro. You can see that I am kind of struggling to take this plant out of its self-watering planter. This is a Costa Farms trending tropical plant that I got for $19.84. And the first step to converting any plant into semi-hydro is to gently remove the plant from the soil substrate. You want to make sure that you're not breaking any of the roots. And if you do, that is normal, because sometimes the roots are just a little bit sensitive. But in terms of converting plants to semi-hydro, sometimes it's a lot easier for to remove the soil from the roots whenever the pot or the soil is completely dry. I have done the mistake of actually watering a planter, watering the soil before I actually try to remove the soil from the roots. It's just a lot easier to pull the roots out when the soil substrate is dry. And you can see that I've gotten 2 Aglaonema lochais from here. And, you know, some people will either put both of these back in a 6-inch planter. But what I want to do is actually get 2 plants. That's one way to propagate Aglaonema is through separation, but you'll see that I will get 2 plants for the price of 1, which is another way of saving money on just your house plants in general. So that's all you have to do is just remove the soil. That is the first part of it, and then I will move on to the next part in just a second. And as I remove the soil from this Aglaonema Lady Valentine, I could feel that there are 2 offshoots that I will most likely chop off and propagate. So I will get 3 plants for the price of 1. Now this Aglaonema was bought at Target for only $15. So I was super excited about that. The second step whenever you're converting anything to semi-hydro, at least for me, would be to disinfect the plant by spraying neem oil spray. Some people can use insecticidal soap. I make a DIY neem oil spray called the Plant Foldy Mist, which consists of 2 tablespoons of cold pressed neem oil that I buy from Amazon, the organic version. I put 2 tablespoons of rubbing alcohol, 2 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide. I also use 1 drop of dishwashing soap, fill it up with water in a spray bottle, shake, 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 and you have that. And then the third step is to clean the roots and remove the neem oil spray. So I'll let the neem oil spray for sit on the plant for about 5 minutes. I spray the tops of the leaves, the bottoms of the leaves, and obviously the roots, but I will leave most of that spray on the leaves just to add an extra level of protection, because it's not going to be harmful to the plant. But as far as the roots, I really want to clean the roots out, make sure that I am spraying it down and trying to get rid of as much of the soil from the roots, just because if you have some soil or quite a bit of soil whenever you put it into a semi-hydro substrate, it could potentially cause root rot, because there could be just potential root rot from that. So you really want to try to get it as sterile as possible. Obviously, that's not always going to be the case. Sometimes it's just really challenging to get rid of the soil, but that would be the third step. So just cleaning the roots out with water. And then the fourth step would be to actually pot up the plant after you've cleaned the roots with the substrate. So I am actually using 5-inch self-watering planters that I purchased from Amazon. You can see that I have the wick string ready to go. So what I'll do is I will take some of the Leca and then I will just pull the wick string up to the middle of the pot and then put just a tiny layer of Leca, and then I will place the plant that I'm going to go ahead and pot up. In this case, I will be potting up the Aglaonema, so definitely watch how I do that. What I will do with the Aglaonema is set it pretty much close to the base of the self-watering planter, right underneath the string, the wick string, to pull up the moisture. And I like to plant Aglaonema as further down as possible, just because if the plant starts to actually get a little bit leggy, you have some room to where it's further into the pot. I will slowly put down the Leca here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap around, shake it around to make sure that I get rid of any of the air pockets. And once the plant is secured, that's pretty much it. You will also get rid of some of the debris if you just shake it and also tap around the self-watering catch pot right here. You can see that I'm tapping that there, and that's basically it. Super easy to do. What's important is I like to put semi-hydro substrate Leca into a catch pot like this, because then I could pull this pot out from the water reservoir versus just putting it in a jar where you can't really rinse out the Leca. I want to be able to flush the Leca in case the nutrients or any buildup happens. It makes it just easier to manage. But that's just how you pot it up. Again, for me, I am getting 2 plants for the price of 1 because I was able to separate these plants, and that's basically it. Now, plant foldies, if you have any comments or questions, please leave that in the comment section for sure. I respond to everybody. And if you made it this far into the video already, please make sure you are not forgetting to press the thumbs up or like button for this video. It helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And if you like more plant chores or seeing more of my personal plants, please leave that in the comment section as well, because I will do more of these relaxing plant chore videos where you can just listen to some of that relaxing ASMR from this. So throughout this video, after I've actually explained the process of converting the plants, the rest of the video will just be silent, and you will just hear some of the relaxing potting sounds and the water sounds. Some people are really into ASMR. I know that this plant channel was actually originally an origami ASMR channel. So just sit back, relax, and if you have any questions or commentary, please fill up the comment section. And if you know somebody that would benefit from learning how to convert plants to semi-hydroponics using Leca or Lechuza Pond, please share this video as well. We are getting close to 12,000 Plant Foldy subscribers, and I am super excited about that. I did want to just shout out all of the Plant Foldies that always go on the live premiere chats. Typically, I will premiere a live video at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time daily. I look forward to chatting with you guys in the chat section. If you are catching this video during a live premiere chat, please say hello. We love chatting with new plant foldies, and it's just a fun time. And if you do feel like you want to support this channel through a monetary tip, there is an option where you can send a super sticker or super thanks, which is basically a way of sending a monetary tip to me or any plant content creators or just YouTube creators. It definitely helps fund some of my supplies, some of my gas money that I spend just traveling from different types of stores, big box stores, and just the supplies in general. So feel free to send a super sticker if you like. Obviously, you are not obligated to do so. If you are on the live premiere chats, I will add what you call a chat goal, which is a series of super stickers. And if we're able to accomplish that goal, I will create a specific exclusive video if we are able to do that. But anyways, going back to the potting up conversion of semi-hydro, you can see that it's super simple. And I will tell you, as somebody who doesn't have a lot of time to water my plants, and especially for the big plant collection I have, converting plants to semi-hydro really makes your plant care so much more simpler. It makes things easier, and to me, that is what you want to add to your plant routine, is just simplifying things, making things to where you're not spending an entire day watering plants. Now, the fifth step to converting semi-hydroponics is to actually rinse the leca. Now, some people will skip this and just go to the water reservoir, but I would actually like to rinse the leca. Now, I'm using my sink, but I honestly would not recommend using your sink to rinse your leca or lechuza pond because of some of the dirt deposits. You want to not actually have that build up on your sink, and that would actually cause more long-term problems to your sink. But for me, since it's extremely it's extremely cold right now in Dallas, I didn't really want to actually be out there rinsing out my leca, so I'm taking a little bit of a shortcut. The good thing about it is I actually have a really good garbage disposal, so as soon as I'm done rinsing, I'm gonna run it to where it's not gonna just have that buildup. But that's basically it, just rinsing out the leca. Now, once I'm done actually rinsing out the leca, what I'm going to do now is actually use a diluted version of my nutrient water solution, which I actually showed in a previous video. So if you're curious on how I mix that up, refer to my previous video where I show you how to convert plants to semi-hydroponics. So basically step 6 would be to water with nutrient water. That way you can get all of the leca soaked with some of that nutrient water. Obviously, it has more of a diluted form where I filled up my watering can with half of the nutrient water that's already diluted as well, but I went ahead and filled it up with more water to dilute it. And then that's basically it. It's just watering the leca, the substrate, with that, and then the next step would fall into me actually filling up the water reservoir. Now, some people will say whenever you're converting plants to semi-hydroponic to not fill up the water reservoir and to just water the plant every 2 to 3 days until it soaks up and then fill up the water reservoir after about a week. I went ahead and just skipped that step, and you'll see that in just a second. But I also like to spray more neem oil spray on the plant just because I want to make sure that all of any potential plant pests are mitigated, and because you can't really use systemic granules in your substrate whenever you convert it to semi-hydroponic. So I like to just spray my plants. I like to take that extra caution, and then you can see right here I am using self-watering planters that I purchased from Amazon. Again, this is the 5-inch. So fill up the nutrient solution about halfway through the water reservoir, and you'll see that there is a little bit of a clear meter, and then I fill it up with half water, just regular water, so that way it further dilutes the nutrient solution. Now, why it's important to utilize nutrient solution is because plants need that nutrients. So whenever you're using like soil substrates, there's already a lot of nutrients in there. You're easily able to fertilize it versus just using semi-hydroponics. Some people will also call it passive hydroponics, where they are literally taking that nutrients from the water using the wick or the wick string that you put in your self-plant, your self-watering planter. But like I said again, I am just filling it up halfway through. I'm already filling up the water reservoir. With Aglaonema, they tend to do well even in Leca. Some people love to use Lechuzapon. I prefer Lechuzapon, but for a cost-effective semi-hydroponic substrate, I like to use Leca, and that's basically it. And you can see the final step for me is to clean the leaves. So I really love using We the Wild neem oil spray called Protect. That is a US brand that's organic. It has a really nice smell. And what I do is I'll spray the plant down with it and then use microfiber gloves, and I rub the leaves and just really rub in that neem oil into the plant. Not only does it make the plant look beautiful and gives that extra curated care for the plant because it gives it a nice leaf shine, it also gets rid of any potential plant pests. And on top of that, it makes not only the leaves shiny, but the leaves are also protected from potential plant pests like spider mites, mealybugs, or thrift. So it's really important for me to spray down my plants with that. So that's basically it. Once you've done that, then you're basically set for the plant. And then I would say whenever you're just pretty much converting your plants to semi-hydroponics and they're potted up, you've cleaned the leaves, you made them look really pretty. I like to set the plants in a bright indirect lighting situation or to grow them under a grow light. Now, if you're gonna spray neem oil spray, you don't want to just put this plant directly under a grow light, otherwise it may end up burning the foliage. I would just leave it about a day or two where you're just kind of putting them in a more shaded area where it does get some filtered bright indirect light. Once that it has acclimated to at least a day or two, then you can start putting them under a grow light or somewhere where they can get a little bit more light. But that's basically it. I love cleaning the leaves of my plants, and in a future video I might just spend time of me just walking around my house plants and actually cleaning the leaves. But you can see this is the first conversion of many plants that I'm going to convert in this video. This is the Aglaonema lochai. You can see that it's got some beautiful like almost a very faint peach vein with the white stems. I love white stem Aglaonema, and you can see that this is how you pot up and convert plants from a soil substrate to semi-hydro. It just makes your plant care so much easier because basically you just have to fill the water reservoir when it starts to go low. So the plant is basically watering it itself. And to me, growing plants in semi-hydro also prevents a lot of plant pests. For some reason, I see less plant pests whenever I am growing them in semi-hydro. I know that I've talked to some people who grow plants in semi-hydro and they can also say the same, but let me know in the comments section if you would have just put these plants together or if you would have separated it like me. And then you can see right here, this is another Aglaonema that I'm going to create. I've already removed the soil from the plant, and I am just using that same step where I am disinfecting and spraying the plant with some neem oil spray to get rid of any potential plant pests. And that's basically it. So just go ahead and watch the process again. So earlier in the video, I discussed how I felt like there was two offshoots. I went ahead and just chopped up this offshoot right here from an Aglaonema. So it's got 3 leaves and still has quite a bit of root. So that's the first one. And then there's a second offshoot right here. Actually, there's a small tiny one, but I think I'm going to leave that with the mother plant. I'm going to go ahead and chop this up and take a second one right here. So I will get 3 plants for the price of 1, and that's really exciting because that's the thing about Aglaonema. They do shoot little babies that you can separate from the mother plant. So after actually taking the cutting, what I will do is actually take some cinnamon powder and pat it on the cut. That will actually be an antibacterial, antifungal way. So that way it will also callus the wound. So that's what I'm going to do, is actually take some cinnamon powder and make sure that I dab it on the cuts of the plant. So you can see that there are 2 cuts there. And I'm going to go through the whole process of really cleaning the roots as well, making sure I get rid of all of the soil. So at least now you can see that that is another way of propagating Aglaonema. I have 3 Aglaonema from the mother plant, and that's super exciting because I can never get enough Aglaonema. And you can see right here, I am just taking some cinnamon powder and dabbing it on the cut because it'll immediately callus the that area. You don't really want to leave open wounds like that. I mean, some people do that anyway and they're fine, but I like to just mitigate any potential root rot or any fungus infection. So I like to use cinnamon powder. Cinnamon powder is an antibacterial, a natural one. And you can see that there's still 1 tiny baby I could have cut right here, but I'm going to go ahead and just make sure to dab cinnamon powder on this Aglaonema Lady Valentine, just to make sure that if it's going to sit in semi-hydro, that it will not have any infections or anything of that nature that could rot it. So super easy. So now you can see how to propagate in Aglaonema as well as me converting the plant. And then I'm going to repeat the steps of just potting it up in a semi-hydro substrate. You can see that I am using a 3-inch self-watering planter for my 2 baby Aglaonema propagations. Super exciting that I'm able to get 3 plants out of it. And so let me know what you think about the video so far, and if you want to see more plant chore videos like this. And plant foldies, you can see that this is another successful conversion of the Aglaonema Lady Valentine. I ended up just potting up the 2 propagations into a 3-inch self-watering planter. I didn't want to just have too many plants, but I also wanted to see if this would develop. The good thing about Leca is once these roots establish, I could separate them further and put them in 2 3-inch planters. But look at how gorgeous this Aglaonema is. And then we're going to go ahead and convert poinsettias. So I did have a situation where I ended up getting some poinsettias for 75% off. Most poinsettias are very thirsty plants. So I figured that I would get some unique poinsettias, and oftentimes poinsettias are really only grown through the holidays during the Christmas season, but I was able to get a couple of interesting ones here. These ones were sourced out from Callaway's Nursery, which is a bunch of nurseries out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So again, I am going through the process of removing the soil, and unfortunately, I ended up watering these poinsettias the night before whenever I did the conversion. So it's a little bit more of a challenge for me to get the plants. And the thing about it is, whenever you're converting a plant that has more fine roots, you are expected to lose a couple of those fine roots. So it is normal to kind of downsize and get rid of some of the more fine roots. That is okay as long as the main root system is intact. So you can see that I am just going to go ahead and remove as much of the soil as possible, and then follow the same steps of disinfecting the plant by spraying it down with neem oil, then using water to really spray down the roots and get rid of the soil, and then basically potting them up in the semi-hydro substrate of your choice. In this case, I would use Leca, and then just spraying it down again and using that We the Wild Protect neem oil spray, and that is basically it. But sometimes I will have to use the patting method to just try to make the soil a little bit loose. So it's always better to actually convert your plants when the soil is completely dry, because it's easier for you, or at least for me, to remove the soil from the roots. You want to make sure that you're getting as much of the roots from the soil out. And that's basically it. And you can see this is an orange poinsettia. I really love the colors that I chose today. Let me know in the comment section if you would grow a poinsettia as a long-term house plant. We'll see if I'm able to convert these. I mean, this is just an experiment, in the fact that I was able to get these plants for $2.50. That's not a bad price at all. So even if they do make it to plant heaven and they don't make the conversion, that is okay. And that's something I also wanted to say. Not all semi-hydroponic conversions are going to be successful. The plant will take a lot of stress, because you have to think that these roots that you are converting from a soil substrate has to acclimate and actually convert into a semi-hydro substrate, because plants have different types of root systems. Some plants wherever have water roots, where basically the roots are more in tune to being in water. And so whenever you do like a water propagation and you have water roots, it does have an acclimation period where the roots have to move from water roots to soil roots. So it's kind of the same thing where, like, if you look at this has an extensive root system. I'm going to see if these roots will actually acclimate to the Leca and the additional water. Sometimes it just doesn't work, and that is okay. That's why you can't always have 100% stock into the plants that you convert into semi-hydro. But if the plant does convert to semi-hydro successfully, I would just venture out to say that it's just going to make your plant care so much more easier to maintain, versus having to go through each plant and watering the soil. So let me know in the comment section, again, plant foldies, what you think about some of the plants that I am converting, what you think about poinsettias. Any plant commentary you would love. Like I said, again, I appreciate any type of engagement you give me on the comment section. And if you have any questions, success stories, or if you also grow plants in semi-hydro, please leave that in the comment section below. But I'm going to go ahead and continue to show you how I remove the soil and convert these plants to semi-hydro. I did want to insert this clip on how to mix up the nutrient solution I use for my semi-hydroponics. So what I'll do is I'll get a gallon type jug, fill up it with just regular water first, because what you want to do is with each nutrient, you want to make sure that you're adding it and then adding water. You don't want to mix all your nutrients all at once. In this case, I'm going to use micro doses. So like We the Wild Grow Concentrate is one, because this is an organic fertilizer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quarter of a tablespoon versus a full tablespoon for per gallon. So that's what I'm going to do. And you'll notice that I'm going to go ahead and rinse my mixing spoon there. And then I'm going to fill it up with some more water right over here, just to make sure that I am not mixing all of the nutrients all at once. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with water, and then I'm going to go ahead and put some more of my nutrients here. All of the nutrient solutions that I'm going to use, you can buy from Amazon. And I'm going to go ahead and use Super Thrive, which is a B vitamin. I'm just going to use a small capful of this right here. This one right here is also to help the plant recover from its initial shock. Whenever you are transplanting plants, or if a plant is dehydrated, you can use Super Thrive. It really does help the plant bounce back. And then once I put the Super Thrive in, I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with some more water. It is very imperative that you're not mixing all of the plant nutrients all at once. And then you can see right here, we have Fox Farm fertilizer. I am using the Grow Big, and it's very important to shake up the liquid fertilizers. So again, I am just going to use a quarter of a tablespoon for this gallon mixture. You can see right there you go. I'm going to get rid of it just a little bit more. I would say whenever it comes down to fertilizers, less is more. And what I do is I will actually make a very small amount of nutrient solution. Well, not small amount, but what I mean is I will actually just use these small doses. So instead of using a tablespoon per gallon, I'm only using a quarter of a tablespoon. And then whenever I water or use the nutrient solution, I'll fill up my watering can halfway with the nutrient solution and then further dilute it with water. So it's really more of a micro dose. This is also the nutrient solution. I water my plants in soil substrates. I'm able to water my plants with pretty much plant nutrients every watering because of the micro dosing that I do. I just feel like it doesn't really hurt the plant if you're just giving small doses of fertilizer. Again, fertilizer is best when less is more, and you'll see that I am basically filling up the water again just in between each nutrient solution. So you can see all of the products here. You can hit the pause button so you can specifically see which Fox Farm fertilizer. So now I'm using the Tiger Bloom Fox fertilizer. This one helps with the plant blooms and just to get it a little bit more resistant to disease. So you can see that I'm using a quarter of a tablespoon and just adding it. And you can see that it's not that hard to add it. And you can see that the water is slightly murky. That's normal because I've already put down that Grow solution by We the Wild. It's made by earthworms and just worm casting. So it's very organic, and a lot of this again is organic fertilizers, which I prefer. Some people want to use more of the synthetic fertilizers, but I just feel like organic fertilizers really help the plant establish. And then this is very important for me to use the Super Thrive Protect Kit. Basically, it's a silica solution which helps with preventing root rot. It makes the roots a little bit more durable. And then for those that actually grow, I'll actually do a full tablespoon of this because I want to make sure that the maximum potential is put in there. It will not burn the roots. It will actually make the plant more resistant to heat, cold weather, and if you're growing plants with high variegation, it actually helps prevent the variegation from crisping up. So lots of benefits from that, and it also has a trace amount of Super Thrive. So if you get the Protect Silica solution from Amazon, you can buy the gallon, which I feel like you'll get more out of it versus getting the small amount. But you can see right here, I've already kind of skipped through the process of filling, watering the poinsettias in, and also just rinsing out the leca again. You can see how gorgeous these poinsettias are. And the thing about poinsettias is they do require quite a bit of bright light. So I will be growing these under a grow light after the first 24 hours, since I did spray them down with We the Wild neem oil spray protect. And you can see that these have some really unique colors for it. So plant foldies, again, let me know in the comment section if you would grow a poinsettia as a house plant, if you've ever grown poinsettias. And I will see if these plants will actually take to semi-hydro this conversion. I'm hoping they will, because I do find poinsettias gorgeous. They just happen to be very thirsty plants when they are in soil substrates. They will quickly drop their leaves if they are not hydrated long enough. So just make sure that if you are going to grow poinsettias in soil, that you are maintaining that soil and keeping it moist. But now that they're in semi-hydro substrates, it's going to be a lot easier. And the final part of this video, and you haven't seen this, these are the Aglaonema that I purchased from Peta's Planters, a small Dallas plant shop. Please visit Peta's Planters. Follow Peta's Planters on Instagram at Peta's Planters. She has the most rare and uncommon Aglaonema that you will find in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. And I will say that confidently, because there are many plant shops in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but she does source out Aglaonema. And for those that are plant foldies, you already know I talk about Aglaonemas all the time. This one right here is the Aglaonema Pink Emerald. And while I already got one from Green Spaces ID from overseas, I don't mind supporting a small business. I always encourage anybody to shop small, even though I do feature a lot of the big box store plants. I just love Aglaonemas, and you can see that this has a very healthy root system. Again, you want to make sure that you're completely getting as much of the soil off and cleaning the soil off. So you already know I will repeat the same process. But as far as the Aglaonema, super thankful I was able to find them at Peta's Planters. If you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or if you're visiting the Dallas area in general, definitely shop there and definitely buy up all the Aglaonema that Peta has, because they are stunning. And you can see this one is a beautiful plant, and this Aglaonema tends to have rounder leaves. And that's the thing about Aglaonema. I feel like they are so underrated because we don't see these uncommon and rare varieties. Like the second one is an Aglaonema Red Mahasadi, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove the soil. So sit back, relax, and if you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section below. If you made it this far into the video, please, please, please press the thumbs up or like button. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. I just remember getting like 300 likes on a big box store plant shopping video, and it ended up getting over 7,000 views, and it continues to get pushed out. So I'm hoping, plant foldies, if you support my cause, if you want to see more plant shopping videos, plant chore videos like this, how-to tutorials, hit that like button. And if you feel like you want to support me on a monetary basis, you can always drop a super sticker or super thanks, which is basically a virtual monetary tip. I would really appreciate that as well if you choose to do so. But again, I'm just going to remove all of the soil from these 4-inch planters. I did leave the soil dry because it makes it so much easier for me to remove the soil substrate from the original plant like this. And this is the final outcome of all of the Aglaonema I got from Peta's Planters. Look at this gorgeous Aglaonema Light of Diamond. And you can see how shiny the leaves are after I use We the Wild Protect Neem Oil Spray. I love it. I am not sponsored by We the Wild, but I really do believe in their products. Now, if you have a local Target, Target does have We the Wild products that you can purchase instead of having to go online. So I would recommend that. You can see that pink emerald right there, red Mahasadi, and the pink Barami Aglaonema. These are all gorgeous. And again, whenever you convert plants to semi-hydroponic substrates, make sure you are paying attention to the water reservoir, not letting it dry out completely. Now, some people will let the reservoir dry out completely and then refill it. It really just depends. Like, there isn't a rule of thumb when it comes to that. What I would say is to definitely give these plants a good source of light. Plant nutrients is very important whenever you're growing plants in semi-hydroponics, because that's the only way they're going to get their nutrients. That's the only way you're going to be able to feed the plant and really accelerate its growth. I do find that semi-hydro has really saved my plant collection because I'm not stressed having to water the plant often. So I hope, Plant Foldies, that this video was relaxing for you, that you've learned something from me, and that you would try growing plants in semi-hydroponics. Please share that in the comment section if you're doing that. Aglaonema are great semi-hydroponic substrate plants, as well as plants like Alocasia and any other plants that require a little bit more water. Now, Aglaonema grow perfectly fine in soil, but I just wanted to do that. So if you enjoyed this video, press the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely pushes this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as subscribing to Grow Folds with all the notification bell on. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.